Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. So, like many of us suspected even before this episode, that Ava was going to be found not guilty, and that's exactly what wound up happening. So she's found not guilty. Christina zones out. TJ just walks off. Um, and it is what it is. TJ gets upset with Molly because Molly's not feeling the same thing that TJ is. And this is once again, and I know that I sound like a broken record, but bro, just because she doesn't feel the same way that you do, doesn't mean that you get to act all pissy about it. And come with the conclusion of, oh, well, she just wants to move on and she's not as upset about it as I am. And that's just how she feels about it. She feels that it was an accident. And you don't, so you do you. Now, Christina comes over and starts questioning Molly, and once again, she's just as upset as TJ because Molly feels it was an accident and that they can finally move on and get some semblance of peace. But of course, that's not good enough for Christina because Christina still feels that um, Ava pushed her. But the problem is that she's not even too sure about that. She's not even too sure that that's what wound up happening. And it's wild to me. I don't know if she just wants somebody to blame and she's so emotional about it that she can't sit there and see straight. But whatever it is, she just gets more angry. And then she decides to say something out of pocket as far as was easy for you to move on because you was never the child's mother or whatever. And I'm like, see, this is the reason. Chick is just a goddamn headache. Now, Sonny decides to do something that I generally despise. And the same thing that Sonny does is the same thing that Kristen does on Days of Our Lives. When they decide to sit there and use their children to, weaponize their children to get back at, um, the mother or the father of the child. And that's what he does when she's like, all right, I want to sit there and see Avery. And Sonny's like, no, you can't because you're a bad mother and you're a bad person. And it's like, what are we doing at this point? And of course, Alexis is like, well, just take the win today, and that'll be that. And Rick sits there and fights for her, and eventually, Sonny's like, oh, okay, well, you can sit there and see it tomorrow, supervise. And I'm like, see, this is just a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, we were sitting there. I asked a question as far as whose side are you on, Michael or Willow's, which I felt was a trick question. And I've seen a couple people in the chat that night, and they were, some people was like, well, Michael should sit there and take the children away and, take everything away from her. And like, you can't do that. No matter how angry that you are at your significant other, you can't sit there and weaponize your damn children going off of emotions. So I was really surprised at how many people were saying this is what Michael should do. He should sit there and take away the children. I'm like, no, because you're hurting the children by doing that. And yeah, this person screwed up. But you know what? You have to be better at that point. This isn't like when you're single and you don't have children, you can sit there and be as petty as you want. When you have children, whatever you do to that person, you're doing to them. And that's exactly what Sonny's doing. Sonny's like, oh, well, no, you can't sit there and see Avery. Why? One thing doesn't have anything to do with the other. So, I don't know. Stop acting like a spiteful dick. Let's see. Now, Brad is not there talking to Stella about Lucas, and, Stella gives him some great advice as far as you gotta sit there and be better for yourself first. You gotta sit there and do right by yourself before you can sit there and try to prove that you're worthy to other people. And Lucas, well, Liz is still stressed out about the review, and Lucas gets an opportunity to do something in Florida as far as a lecture is concerned. Now, Brad asks Portia, could he go? And Portia's like, no, listen, we have a limited amount of resources that we can really just send like one doctor to go there. Stella overhears it, and Stella's like, I think you made a mistake. And I'm like, at first I was like, I'm sorry, are you sitting there trying to chastise her on how to do her job? But then she's like, I'm doing this for you because you have been way too open about your dislike for him. And as a chief of staff, you need to do better. And at that point, I was like, yeah, she kind of got a point there. She got a real point there. While Brad is sitting there contemplating should he use the results to blackmail her into going, he decides not to do it, and Portia comes in. And Stella was like, hey, listen, has his work been messed up and stuff like that? And she's like, nope, it's been great. It's just his history. And I'm like, Portia, your history is not exactly so great. So how about we not sit there and start chastising about somebody's history? But she does come in there and say, hey, listen, you've been doing really well. And I think it's a good idea for you to sit there and go to the conference. So, I guess his better angels prevailed. Um, so Kai comes to the gallery. And Trina's really psyched, and she was really happy about some of the info that he was there pulling for their project. But Kai comes in with some bad news, and basically it's like he has a football game, and unfortunately they got to sit there and delay the project. And Trina explains just how important it is to her that she does this project and she gets a good grade, and what this means for her future and her career and everything. But, it kind of like, hey, listen, I can't let everyone down and stuff like that. So after she gets mad, she's like, listen, good luck on your game, good luck, whatever. Just send me the notes. I'll do it myself. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And she handles it with more class than she's been doing lately. And to be honest, if she did kind of go off on him, I'm just not there saying, like, it's not like he wouldn't have had it coming. I thought that towards the end he was actually going to come back, but that didn't happen. Um, okay, let's get this. Let's get this idiotic as home and heart BS out the way. So Lois is going to be getting a touch up by one of the makeup artists, and for some odd reason, she decides to start speaking. And she's like, "I'm glad that you got rid of your accent because it made right now you sound more professional." And I'm like, no one asked you. Why are you talking? Like seriously, why are you talking? You have one job. How about you just do that job and shut the F up? So she goes and she does her regular talk, and while that's going on, Maxie's like, we need to do really big numbers today because our futures depends on it. So she goes and she starts selling some products and stuff like that. And her friend, Franny, calls up and pretty much just kind of shits on her throughout most of it, saying that, you have a fake accent and you just want to sit there and try to fit in with the rich people and everything. And, we was really supporting you and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's your friend, right, Lois? Because also I sat there and I was like, why aren't you just not cutting these people off? When the last person bashed her for her accent, and Haven has to sit there and step up and intervene and say something. I'm like, y'all could just simply end the call. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why don't you just end the damn call? But for some odd reason, instead of her taking this like, I thought we were girls, and this is how you treat me, because that was a really shitty thing to do, right? This isn't just I can see if it was different if it was just some other person that was like, hey, listen, I have the same accent as you, and now you think you're trying to hide it, and really just came at her sideways, right? This is supposed to be her friend, but for some odd reason, it reawakens the old Lois, and she comes out. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you really shocked something into me, and I'm very proud of my accent." Then she starts doing a whole Lois accent thing, and apparently she makes really high numbers. And I'm just like, of course she does. Like, of course she does. So she does really well. Haven's really happy. To be fair, to be honest, here's the thing about Haven. I don't know if I'm. I mean, yes, on one hand, she stepped up when it came towards that woman bullying Lois. On the other hand, she was really shitty about the whole Brando thing, when Sasha thing, when she lost her baby, and she was telling that person to play baby, like baby cries and stuff like that. And I know she apologized, and I guess it's fine. It is what it is. But it's like part of me is like, I don't know how to feel about this chick. But I guess maybe I should probably let that go. I mean, I did sit there. I'm not just saying I gave Natalia a pass, but she did sit there and say some shitty things, and she did learn from it. So it is what it is. Anyway, um, Lois saved the day, and then she made some sort of smart remark back at the makeup artist, and I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't care about that segment. I just don't. Um, TJ comes back in. He vents to Lucas about the trial and her leaving. I mean, Molly leaving, and of course he has to sit there and whine about how Molly's not feeling how he's feeling, so he's upset because he. I just feel like TJ has this controlling issue. He has this controlling issue that just really annoys the shit out of me. Anyway, Lucas wants to be a friend, and so he's like, "Hey, listen, let's go out and hit some bags and hit some stuff." And so they do that. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. Even towards the end, she was like, "Oh, I just want to give a special shout out to Franny." I'm like, "Stop!" I was like, "Stop, stop." Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. If I missed anything, write it in the comment section. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be talking about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. I will sit there and see you in the next video.